a few weeks ago, or months ago, I guess, I created this application, excuse me, on Base44. So you can see here, it's a game where you essentially create a startup, and it's a competition. It's like a simulation. You can continue from the previous game, and it's designed for students and high school students and who want to learn the basics of getting up a startup and the importance of product, focusing on products and focusing on teams, and later on focusing on on seeking finance and so forth. And then you do the marketing launch. So you got to have that product market fit. And as you know, I love comparing applications, so it should help you inform what application I should build in terms of platform that I use. You've got Base44, and you've got Lovable, you've got Bolt, you've got now Create, which now has been called Anything. Create Anything has changed its name. So what I thought, what if I take this step further and said, okay, let's build an app that allows me to take the outcome of this results and pitch it like in a pitching coach. So I can take this further and say pitch the idea, and let AI coach me. Okay, so I'll show you the prompt. So the prompt that I was going to show you, so here's a prompt that I want to. So side-by-side comparison, no, not this one, sorry, let's get out of here. Let me get the, it's in my notepad, let me just copy this, and copy, go into, okay. So this is the prompt, so build me a coach, and what I wanted to do is use the camera and mic. So basically it would record for 2 minutes, it would analyze, and it will provide sort of feedback, a score on how you performed, what kind of the words you used, timestamp, facial expressions. So basically, imagine if you created an app and you've got product market fit, the students have simulated and they found it's a good idea. Well, how about we use the vibe coding apps here to actually create an app that allows us to actually get coaching as well. So it's like self-contained. So this will, list the filler words, timestamp, suggest improvements. But the key thing here is I wanted to do is use the camera and analyze your talking, your pitch. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to go and copy this over to Base44, Lovable. So that's the same one here. And we're going to go into Bolt. We're going to create it there. And last but not least, we're going to compare which application of these have generated a great app for us to take it further. So I'm going to go back here to Bolt44 and run that. So let's see. So that's going to start building. Let's build it on Lovable as well. Same prompt. We want to do same prompt. And here we go. Boom. Let that go, and of course Anything, which was called Create XYZ. I think it's changed its name. Okay, so I'm going to let these run and see and I'll pause this video and come back to you and see what happens with everybody's going hard at core building an app for us. And you recall that I strongly believe if there's not an app that is addressing, or there's not a platform that's addressing your specific problem these days, you can build your own CRM, you can build your own lead gen, outbound campaign creator. Whatever exists there today, if it doesn't exist, you can create it on these applications, which is it's just amazing, right? So essentially a lot of these HubSpots and Salesforce, potentially I'm saying, are under threat because if there's not an app there that addresses your specific needs and requirements, you can actually specify for $50 a month, create an app that actually addresses your own specific needs. And in fact, Base44 and many of the others also have integration, so you can integrate with HubSpot, so you can take that one step further. There's a lot of integrations, but what I'm saying is that it's self-contained, so you can actually build something much more customized. Because as you know, things like CRM over the years have been built It started basically inbound. It was a HubSpot, for example, was inbound, and then it grew into other features. So it becomes really huge. Has workflows and lists and outbound and sales sequences. So it's that's an example of just HubSpot. There's other applications that over the years have grown, and they're missing the point. They're missing sort of what your specific needs. So with integration on a lot of these apps, you can actually start now building your own custom on top of these existing applications. So let's see if any of these have started building. So they're still doing their thing. It's all of them are building. So what I'll do is pause, and I'll come back to you when we get a little bit of a more visual of what's happening. Okay, so we've got something here. So all of them have come through, which is pretty cool. You can see Bolt here as well. Let's go back here, preview, hide the chat. When this is a little bit not as engaging, but doesn't matter. Let me see. Yeah. Look, let's see here as well. Okay, let's test it. Let's pitch our idea. Okay, let's start with Base44. So I'm going to pitch my idea out loud. This is pretty cool. Allow the camera. Okay, so I got the camera turned on, which is amazing. So I'm going to start my recording. Okay, well, thank you very much, people. Today I want to pitch an idea. Imagine if Monopoly met Y Combinator. Startup Survivor Unicorn Race is the world's first multiplayer simulation game for players to compete to scale their startups to unicorn status. The Startup Simulator is a multiplayer simulation game where players compete to build the next unicorn. Each quarter, the founders make real decisions around funding, hiring, product pivots, navigating unpredictable events such as crashes and viral growth, or even the founder leaving. It's fun, but what's more important, it's educational for inspiring founders, incubators, business skills. Pitching at high skills and to get them understanding the dynamics of a startup environment, teaching you the reality of scaling in a way that textbooks really can't. With funding, we expect to expand our gameplay and integrate it to real-world cases, making Startup Survivor to go-to simulation for the next generation of entrepreneurs. We are targeting skills and high skills around the local area as an initial pilot. And with the funding, I believe we can actually accelerate that. Okay, so that's let me stop that. Wow, look, that's pretty cool. That's so confidence score is excellent. It's got impressions. Look at that, facial expression analysis. It's new to my phone. Average time, my tone is captured. It removed, it detected, and improvements. Filter words, practicing yes. Maintain more consistent eye contact. Very good. It picked that up. That's pretty cool. Very speaking pace and emphasizing the key points. Amazing. Look, 30-second, pretty amazing. You can now have a game that students can use, and then later on they can pitch. So let's go to the next one. Okay, now this is Lovable. So we're going to do pretty much the same pitch. So we're going to start allowing access, start recording. Okay, so imagine if Monopoly and Y Incubator came together. Well, that's Startup Survivor, the Unicorn Race, is the world's first multiplayer simulation game where players compete to scale their startup to unicorn status. Now, the game is a multiplayer simulation where players compete to build the next generation of unicorn startup. Each quarter, founders make these important decisions around funding, hiring, product pivots while navigating unpredictable events like market crashes or your growth going viral or one of your founders leaving. It's fun, but what's more important, it's educational. for inspiring founders, accelerators, community skills, that especially high skills, teaching the reality of scaling in a way that no textbook can. With funding, we're expanding the gameplay and integrating the real-world cases, making Startup Survivor the go-to simulation for the next generation entrepreneurs. And with the funding, we want to start with high skills, focusing on that and hiring and marketing to the high skills and students as a pilot. Thank you. Okay, let's stop that. Very, very similar. Very similar. Now that's missing here, pie chart and all, but the score is confidence score, really cool. Confidence, authenticity, engagement. That's good. Again, it filters those words, improved. Reduce filter words by 40%. Pause instead. That's good. That is a good tip. Pause for effect is super important. Super important. Let's say increase vocal variety. I like that as well. Maintain. Again, it looked at the camera. That is pretty cool, right? So I think that's pretty cool. I love it. Like, again, we're combining these things into a value proposition. So let's go to the next one, Bolt. Okay. So now the next one is Bolt. Let's do the same thing. Allow. Again, it's doing the same thing. Beautiful. Start recording. So what's disconnect there? Disconnect. I don't know why my phone. Look, it picked up my phone. So Bolt actually picked up my phone. That's cool because I can actually make this mobile, which is interesting. So, okay, enough of this. Let's start with this. It's recording. Let me see. Interesting. There's no timer to tell me it's recording or not. Oh, no, sorry, it is. I just couldn't move my mouse. Okay. Welcome, guys. Imagine if Monopoly and met Y Incubator. Startup Survivor is a unicorn game. It is the world's first multiplayer simulation game where players compete to scale their startup in a unicorn status. The multiplayer game simulations where players, the idea of this game is where players simulate to build their next unicorn. Each quarter, founders make real decisions around fundraising, hiring, pivots, and navigating unpredictable events, including market crashes, or if the growth gone viral, or even a founder decides to leave. It's fun, but what's more important, it's educational. Inspiring founders, accelerators, community skills, teaching the realities of scaling in a way a textbook would never do that. With funding, we'll expand multiplayer and integrate real-world use cases, making Startup Survivor the go-to simulation for the next generation of entrepreneurs. And we're going to start with funding. We're going to start targeting pilots with skills, which we have already some good feedback. We want to expand that to local schools in the area and validate this product. So I'm going to stop this. Okay. So, I mean, Bolt is not as visual, I guess, compared to, but look at this, timing, words per minute. So that's tracked words per minute. That's pretty cool. So that one didn't do that very well. Pace, it has that. Words, it actually covered my words. It's amazing. Variety, that's good. Fillers, identified. So, amazing. All of them are doing a great job. Confidence, interesting. I'm getting confidence pretty high, which I don't know, but room for improvement. But here confidence, being authentic, engage, and eye contact. Again, eye contact, which is good because I'm reading a little script, so it's picked that up. That's pretty amazing. Let's just see some improvements. Even though it says free, where areas just got to speaking a bit faster, aiming for. Okay, well, it's interesting because I've done that. Maintain better eye contact. I agree because I'm just reading it, and and also I added some other words in this script here. All right, not bad. All of them are doing the same thing. So the final one is build anything. Well, anything, create anything, I should say. Okay, so let's test that. Again, we're going to allow the camera and we're going to read our script. So I'm just trying to make it comparable. That's the whole idea. Okay, okay, start recording. Okay, cool. So welcome everybody. Imagine if Monopoly met Y Incubator. Startup Survivor, the Unicorn Race, is the world's first multi-simulation game where players compete to scale their startup to unicorn status. The startup game is a multiplayer game, simulation game, where players compete to build the next generation unicorn. Each quarter, founders make real startup decisions like hiring, fundraising, making pivots, while navigating unpredictable events like market crashes or growth going viral or even a founder leaving. It's fun, but what's important, it's educational for inspiring founders, young founders in particular, accelerators, and community skills, targeting the realities, or teaching the realities of scaling in a way that textbooks really don't cover. With funding, we'll expand the game and integrate with real-world use cases, making Startup Survivor the go-to simulation for next-generation entrepreneurs. With the funding, we'll be targeting skills to expand it. We had initial traction, so we want to expand around skills as an educational program. Thank you. Okay, I miss. Again, 75. This didn't have the pace. Confidence is high, authentic, engaged, but interesting. Just only one improvement. Increase your pace. Well, what do you think? I think, to be honest, Base44, visually it's engaging. Very simple layout, the color background. I like the shadow effect. You can see here, even Lovable is pretty basic. Bolt is the most basic. You could have done it on Google. Google Gemini. You can build your own apps there as well. And similar with anything, create anything. I would say for now, without refining the prompt even further, this has the best visually, but it's interesting. It didn't pick up the stats, the pace. And if you look at that, I think it was where was my other one? Let me see. Oh no, where was it? Was it Coach? No, one of them. I don't know. This one actually now. Where's my history then? So this is where your prompting comes in place, right? You have to actually increase. So it went default back to the this one. Remember, I have to go back to it, of course, saying keep history so you can review me. Yeah, no. Yeah, well, there you go. Again, it has integrations, I like that, but most of them have now integrations and important. So if you want to integrate with other tools and systems, but for now, from a visual perspective, and all of them address the same need, this addressed more closer. As you can literally see 3 improvements here. Oh, wow, I didn't see this. Look, it's actually, that is cool. Done. I like Base44 Asian kept a record of it. That is pretty cool. Well, guys, I hope you found today's video very interesting, where we did a showdown between Base44, Lovable, Bolt, and Create Anything, and compare those with the same prompt and the same pitch. I hope that was useful. Again, remember, these apps, the whole idea I'm saying here is that if you have a problem that hasn't been addressed by an application, you can build it today using these tools. And very cheap as well from a license perspective, annual license or monthly license. Okay, guys, thank you again for watching all this video from until right now. Stay safe and talk to you soon. See you in the next video. Bye.